James here, and today we're taking a look at, of course, the Govee floor lamp. This is an RGBIC floor lamp, the H6076. Now, this is, of course, 16 million colors of variations of colors on this. Now, inside here, you're going to get everything you need to put it together, and I'm going to kind of open this up slightly and then install it off camera. You'll have the instruction manual. You have the user manuals. You'll also have this rope light. Now, the rope light, of course, is just the standard rope lights that you would find on your desk, but this is going to go into the channel, of course, of this lamp, which is actually kind of cool. Now, the light is, of course, nice and long. It does have, of course, the cable connectors, and we'll actually show you guys that in action once we get in there. Now, you'll also be greeted with, of course, 4 channels. These channels will need to be installed together. It actually will take 2 screws per channel and a clip. And I'm going to do, like that said, off camera. It's very simple. Pretty much anybody should be able to do this. It's just a basic 4 connection and you're up and running. Now, in the bottom, of course, you're going to be greeted with the base, and that's where you're going to connect your first channel. And that's where you're going to see the little connector piece right there for that channel. You'll grab your bar right here, slide this down. You'll line it up and then connect up the 2 screws. That's it. And then for every section up, and you'll then line and plug in the cable. We'll get to that in a few. It's what's in here. And on top of the base, of course, at the end is the controller module. This controller module is 1 button. It is a Bluetooth receiver and will pair up with their app. So what I'm going to do is connect up these 4 channels, and then I'll be back to show you guys what it looks like with the 4 channels, and then we'll show you guys how to put the light in, and then we'll turn it on and run the app. Be right back. Okay, before I get to the very last piece, you guys see that final C channel is in there, but last piece you're going to save is this cap in. You guys see this does have a round cap in. The rest are flat. You will then just literally slide this down over this, just like you were with the last of these groups, and line it up with those screw holes. You'll take the last 2 screws and you'll mount those screws. That's all there is. So I'll be back after I finish that off right now. Okay, I know it's a little hard, but I do have all of those channels in there nice and lined. If you have gaps, you need to reset those. There should be no gaps in between. Now, on the bottom of the base is this little plug. It is a red, green, blue, and white cable, 3-wire cable, red, green, and white. That is your RGB coloration plug. That is where you're going to plug this rope light into down here, just like this. Now, I know it's going to be a little bit hard to see this, but we're going to attempt to do this just like this. It's only going to connect one way, so don't worry about that. Once you're there, you are then going to feed those wires down into this, and you're going to start plugging this rope light into this. Now, I'm going to feed that down there, of course, like that, and then we're going to start by popping that rope light in just like this. Now, this is a silicone rope light that's going to fit into this nice and snug. With that, you will need to make sure that you get that in there really, really well, because you don't want it to come back out, of course, as you go. You just slide it in, pop it up just like this, guys. It's this simple to feed it all the way up. Now, you're going to get to a point. On this rope light, it's got some writing. It's, follow the quick starter guide. We're going to have to pull this off because we don't want this on there no more. With that, it's just a little sticky piece of paper, and it's that simple, that easy. Now, you should not, let me repeat, you should not have to cut this rope light. This rope light is the exact length that you want for that. If there were any technical slight hiccups or sizes with this, just make sure that you feed it in just like that, and it'll fit perfectly well. There it is in all of its glory. Now, you will have a screwdriver to do those screws, all the screws. It will come with 2 spares. It'll come with the wall brick. The wall brick is what you're going to plug in to turn it on. And now I'm going to grab a power source, and we're going to show you guys this lighting in effect. Okay, now that we're going to pull up our phone, we're going to pull up the Govee app, and we're going to hit the plus symbol up in the top. Once we're up there, we're going to type in the search bar H6076, and it will pop up that floor lamp. We will then press that, and we will come into the binding section. We'll click that Bluetooth symbol up the top where it shows that name, and it will then connect. We will then reach down onto the actual lamp and press that button once, which will pop up another screen once it connects and binds to this. Now we are now done, and we'll press the done button. This is where you're going to be greeted with your actual Wi-Fi connection, and we will input that off camera. Okay, now that we're paired up, you're going to see that it's going to want us to upgrade or update the firmware. And that's what we're going to do right here. And we're going to do this. It's going to take very little time to actually update that and upgrade it to that newest version. But once we are done, it's going to take that a little bit, and then you will be able to use this app. As you guys see, I'm going to let this play out in real time so you guys can see how quick it really actually takes to do this. And it's actually quite simple, not a big deal to do this and bind and update to the firmware versions and the update on the app. Very simple, very easy little process, but once you're there, it is then updated. Now, once it's updated, you'll have access to the app and you'll be able to play around with that. But what we're going to do is from here is actually change to dual view, and you'll be able to see that now. Okay, guys, now that we can see, you guys can see the light back here, of course, and it is connected. You can also see the app. We are on plain coloration with this, and we can actually change the segments out to other colors if we want to add a blue variation with that lighting. Now that is a 50% brightness. I can actually change that if I want with that. If I want, I can then, of course, uncheck those marks that I just turned blue, and I can check the opposite marks, and we can turn those red, so it looks like a red and blue pole. That easy, that simple. Very, very, very easily done with that. Now, if you want standard white lights, you can select all those, click those as a white light, and use this as a lighting for a light bar. Very cool. Now, you guys are looking straight at that bar, of course. Now, if I turn it around, which is the effect you're supposed to get, it's supposed to glow off of the wall in the background. So you're not actually looking directly at the LEDs. Now, the cool part about this in this app, of course, I accidentally just backed out. We're going to go back into this on hand. Just that simple. We're going to go back in. You guys are going to see that, of course. We're going to go over to scenes. Scenes are going to allow us to change a bunch of different stuff. We have movie scenes. We have game scenes. We can actually change the speed of those colorations and variations with that. Now, of course, it may be a little bit harder to see that with those lights in the background. So if I shut off my other lights, of course, and we'll just start canceling some of those light effects off so you guys can see everything else around it. Let's see if those will actually shut off. And we'll turn off the TV lights. You guys are seeing all that. So now we are just on those lights, of course. Now you go back into the app, and of course we have more scenes to mess around with. We can actually go over into funny, where it's like a bouncing effect. You guys will see right there with that. We can do like the fight effects, of course. We can do meteors, where it's just going to start starry nights, waves, ripples, sunrises. We can do a like fire effect, where it just red glows. We can go into emotions, which is like dancing, lighting, treadmill, dreamland, and everything in between, or even festivals, where it's like, you know, carnival time. Of course, Halloween's coming up, so if we do Halloween, it's going to have that nice glowy effect. Or we can do music mode. Now, music mode is going to react to my voice. So if I change it to a rhythmatic pace, it's going to move to my voice or to the sounds of the beat. This is a great lighting effect, of course, for anybody and everybody on hand. The Govee RGBIC floor lamp is a great piece of technology. I love this, of course. I'm going to be using this for ambiance during streams and other videos, of course, with that. I want to thank you guys for checking this video out, and I hope you guys have a great day.